Hey everyone, welcome to the new Crime Time YouTube channel. Many of you have been very vocal about your support of this new style of content, but I think it was a mistake to incorporate it on our Lush Life YouTube channel because the subject matter is so different from our normal lighthearted reaction videos. Now, if you enjoy the true crime watch-throughs that my wife and I do together, please subscribe to this channel. And if you don't, good news, you can stay subscribed to Lush Life for the content that you are used to. As always, the fact that you guys choose to support us with your watch time and presence here is a remarkable blessing in our lives, and we can't thank you enough. I hope you enjoy this new episode.
Okay, head died.
No, he didn't. Oh, God, wrong
Ian
person.
shows no visible reaction to this news. And
Wait,
the
is that the
detective
right guy?
still
No.
naming the
David.
wrong
Oh, God.
victim.
I'm concerned with the fact that a documented schizophrenic has so many firearms. Yes.
That was one of my questions, too. Why legally own 15 firearms when he's with a medical history that is apparently was well documented with a previous incident? So he was just rattling his around and being like, what's this, dude?
Welcome back, everybody.
To a brand new Crime Time. We're doing a Crime Time today, and this is a little different than usual because the subject who apparently is the worst transgression is the detective interrogating the case, the murder suspect, essentially. And I haven't seen it, but the comments are absolutely roasting this detective. So
Oh, no.
it's going to be interesting and maybe a little bit hard to watch because I don't love watching people that suck at their job. It makes me feel cringe inside.
You also want to kind of trust in the system that people are capable
Yeah,
of doing their
of course,
job
and I don't
when
like-
it's something as serious as this.
That's right, and I don't want to disparage people on the force, etc. But unfortunately, not everyone is good at what they do, and occasionally, there could be a different role that he's better at. But let's save our judgment until we watch this. But this is a murder case called "Neighbor Thinks He Got Away with Murder" from EWU. As always, we appreciate having you guys here with us. Let's get through this one.
Hi, somebody just shot our car up. I think my husband's dead. Dave, are you alive?
On the night of April
He
28,
is not.
2024, the caller and her husband were returning home from his father's birthday party, unaware the night would end in a vicious attack on their lives. But as the call unfolds, it's clear she doesn't believe this was a random act of violence. The following is based on
Usually
official
isn't.
police records released to date, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now.
Dave, sit up. Dave. Hello?
I'm here.
Hello.
We're getting
Okay.
you help on the way.
Yeah, somebody shot him. I don't know if he's alive or dead. There's blood everywhere.
Can you tell if he's breathing?
I think I feel a heart pulse in his neck. I'm not sure. Somebody just shot like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots at our car. And I don't know how many times
Do you
he's hit,
see
but
the other
there's
car or
blood
no?
Yeah, we think it's my mother-in-law's neighbor.
What?
He was following us. We think he was following us on the freeway, and then all of a sudden he started shooting at our car. We don't even know why. He's kind of crazy. Honey, honey, are you okay? He's sitting up, but I can't tell if he's breathing or not.
Okay.
I don't even know where he shot. Oh, I think he's shot in the head.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh, this isn't good at all. This is
Jesus.
not good at all. I see the police coming. I see the police car coming, but
Okay.
I don't know. He's shot in the head, and there's blood everywhere.
Okay.
Cuyahoga Heights police officers.
I'm sorry, what was that place called? Cuyahoga?
Cuyahoga sounds very Midwest. It never fails to shake my core a little bit when I hear actual,
The 911 call from the immediate,
from the actual
Yep.
scene when someone's losing a loved one. It's like it
that
just
moment
hits,
of realization.
just hits so much different than watching a movie or like when it's actual recording.
The horrific scene, finding 59-year-old Jacqueline Perez covered in blood and standing at the driver's side door of a black Dodge that has been riddled with bullet holes. With a bullet wound in her left arm, Jacqueline managed to gain control
Shouldn't
of the
even
truck
mention that.
to prevent a wreck
Crazy, I
or
don't know if she
harm
even
to
knew.
any other drivers on the busy freeway. Her husband, 57-year-old David Perez, is slumped over in the driver's seat with multiple gunshot wounds to his head and body.
Okay.
Tragically, David is deceased. Before being transported to the hospital, Jacqueline is able to identify the shooter as 29-year-old Ian Rich, the man who lives next door to her husband's parents. A bolo is put out on Ian's black Audi convertible, and nearly an hour and a half later, Bracknell police officers spot his car.
Exiting at St. Clair and Superior. I'm lighting it up.
Beep, beep. We getting in a chase or is he pulling
That's
over?
what I'm wondering.
I mean, if you ditch the gun, there's really may not be actual immediate evidence except for GSR on your hand or something.
Hands out the window! Open the car door outside the window! Unlock the vehicle! Hands.
Stopping directly in the middle of the road is a peculiar decision.
Yeah. No attempt to even pull a smidge right.
Can we get a shoulder, pal? What are we doing here?
It is a ramp,
the
too.
window.
Guilty. Immediately guilty.
Open the door! Keep your hands where I can see them! Keep your hands up! Step out of the vehicle! Face away from me! Hands in the air! Walk backwards to the sound of my voice! Stop!
Is there someone else in the car?
92! Handcuff! Do not look at me! Stay there! Don't move!
What's a dog?
It is? Oh,
Yeah.
I couldn't see it for a
I was
second.
like, I saw
We'll explain
something.
everything. What's the dog's name?
Sienna, sorry.
Come here.
Come here, girl. You handcuffed? Walk this way. Walk this way. You don't got anything on you to get
The
control.
neighbor of the victim's parents.
Okay, let's walk this way.
I got all kinds
The officer removes everything from Ian's pockets, while the other secures his dog Sienna safely in the back seat of a cruiser.
Anything else? No guns on you? What's this? Oh, you leave? What's this? That's my... Oh, I do have it in my shirt pocket right here. I have...
Wait.
What just happened?
Wait.
Why? He's like grabbing
Is this
up
guy
here.
like... Hang on, I did missed any visual that
Is
might
he
have been
erect
present?
with it tucked up? Is he nip tucked up with a hard on?
Okay, I didn't see like where the guy was touching, so I'm like, is this guy just hung like...
Like you're no, well, you're normally checking like a waistband, obviously, but like there's no way he was just rattling his dick around and being like, "What's this, dude?"
Oh my god,
Hold on.
that might be the most
What's
awkward.
this? Oh, you leave? What's this? That's my...
Come on.
Oh, I do have it in my shirt pocket right here. I have...
What's this? Let's learn anatomy.
I got some drugs.
But you do. Ooh, inside of that
Ooh.
car is
Okay,
looking a
there's
little.
a crack pipe in plain view.
Oh yeah.
Do you have an
Oh,
idea?
you know.
No? What's your name?
My name's Ian.
Ian what?
Last name Rich.
Rich?
Yeah.
Do you have crack on you?
No, that's... Well, what are the
In my
pipes?
system.
Speed? Okay.
Ian is placed in the cruiser and read his Miranda rights, but the officer will ultimately save any questioning regarding the shooting for a Cuyahoga Heights detective.
No boy.
Is there anything in the car we should know about?
There's guns.
There's guns?
Yeah.
Okay, where's the gun?
Well, there's one in the center console behind the seat,
Okay,
and then the rest of my pistols are in the top.
so they're in
And
the
then
trunk?
there's ammo. Yeah, there's some more in the trunk in an FN bag.
Okay, so how many total?
5.
5 guns total? Okay.
In your car. Okay. Normal.
Why don't you put...
Dude seems remarkably calm too. He's got to
The
be like,
officers choose not to do a
bit
detailed search of
sociopathic
Ian's
and high.
car, and instead radio an officer with
Why?
Cuyahoga Heights to take custody of the vehicle and its contents. They then take a moment to appreciate the outcome of the arrest, which played out far more calmly than they expected.
I can't believe you didn't take off. I was waiting. I was like, I want to make sure you're there with me.
Yeah, smart.
I gave everything over radio. I was ready to go. I was like, you ain't getting me on no nothing.
Worked out perfect.
Putting that down.
They're over there celebrating.
well, yeah. I mean, you have to imagine like that coming from the scenario they were coming from. You're thinking this guy's not just going to pull over, put his
Yeah.
hands up, and be calm. You know. To
And he's
imagine-
also telling them he has guns.
Yeah, but and then just the adrenaline too. Like if you think about when you're in a high pressure situation like this, there's like actually going through it, and then there's the anticipation of it happening if you know it's coming. You know what I mean? So I'm sure you're just fully amped. So you kind of have this. You kind of, as the arresting officer, I'm sure you have this kind of let down moment of like reprieve and joy because you're like, oh Jesus, I'm like not gonna get shot at right now.
Suspects apprehended and secured. Oh dear.
An officer with the Cuyahoga Heights Police Department arrives and takes a closer look at Ian's car.
Where are the 5?
The 5 he said are in the trunk, right?
He said...
I think they're out the
console?
car. I didn't touch anything.
I'm willing to bet they're...
You want me to roll down the back window for you?
Center console area? They're probably in there.
Yeah, I'm not even going to touch it.
Officers begin transporting Ian to Strongsville Jail for questioning. But as for his dog Sienna, officers discuss whether a neighbor can retrieve her or if they will be forced to take her to the local pound.
I would just rather, if it came to that, I'd rather go to my mom.
Okay.
My mom's got another dog.
Okay.
She doesn't want to take care of her, but she will if she has to.
And it wouldn't be the first time. Ian's dog Sienna has been collected by the Newburgh Police Department on more than one occasion, and each time his mother agreed to collect the dog. But Sienna's history with the police pales in comparison to Ian's, which spans multiple encounters over several years and will later shed a tragic new light on his actions tonight.
Does that dog have a seatbelt on? Definitely does.
Once they arrive at the jail, Ian is taken inside and seated in a booking area, joined by Detective Lucas and a lieutenant. The following interrogation has been analyzed by a retired detective, who is also a licensed polygraph examiner, as well as a former hostage negotiation commander and instructor.
Okay, boy.
Ian's Miranda rights are not read by Detective Lucas on camera prior to conducting this interview, as an officer has already read them at the scene. However, the delivery of the rights by another officer creates potential issues. If Ian didn't fully comprehend the warning, any statements he makes going forward could be challenged in court.
I got this blister.
So stupid.
Okay. It's been getting worse and worse. And it's like infected. Sure. Honestly, it would be good to get taken care of.
Why is he smiling?
We'll take care of it
right after. I got tape on it.
Yeah, right after we have a little conversation, all right? Okay.
A critical first step in any interview is establishing a baseline of the suspect's knowledge, awareness, and mental state. Given that Ian has a known psychiatric history, Detective Lucas should have assessed his orientation and level of understanding by asking basic facts such as the date, where they are, or why they're here. Instead, he begins the interview by asking Ian to describe his day, which he says began at around 10 o'clock this morning.
What did you do after 10 o'clock when you woke up?
Tried cleaning up my garage.
Okay.
Doing a lot of demolition in there, I guess.
Okay.
Trying to renovate it.
Newburgh Heights police records show a pattern of alarming behavior at Ian's home, including repeated noise complaints and property damage. 2 weeks before the shooting, his mother told officers the house was unlivable, with walls torn down in every room, and that Ian had been drilling into the foundation because he believed his neighbors were, quote, doing things underground.
Oh, dear.
She also
Sounds like true schizophrenic. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
True
Like,
paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah, big
You're
time.
going to drill into foundation?
Your foundation, thinking there's stuff going.
reported that he had schizophrenia and was self-medicating with drugs.
Okay.
The
Tough
detective
combo.
began appropriately by asking Ian what he did after waking up, which is an effective open-ended question. However, rather than allowing Ian the opportunity to speak freely, Detective Lucas quickly interrupts and shifts the conversation to his drug use.
What kind of drugs are you on?
It's meth.
Meth?
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been on that?
Not that long.
Not long. Why'd you get on?
I was on it for a few years.
Okay.
Non-stop. Every day. And then I went to rehab.
Okay.
For some reason got back into it when I lost my job again.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's been a problem. That's why I'm here, I guess.
Gotcha. How often do you use meth?
Lately it's been every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you used?
So, because he didn't ask, we don't know. Is he assuming he's under arrest for the drugs that were in his car? Because that was kind of the immediate thing they could arrest him for at the moment while they try to figure out the murder situation?
Well, they had a positive ID from the wife.
Okay.
Who was at the scene of the crime. So I think that's enough to arrest somebody on, to get them into interrogation. As far as the ability to hold him, with if they didn't, you know
Once
what
the
I mean?
conversation
I don't know.
returns to establishing a timeline, Ian says that after waking up, he went to AutoZone, returned home, and later went out to dinner. Then, after 9 p.m., his female friend Ashiana sent him a text message, and he decided to go to her house for a visit.
I left just knowing I was going to head
Meth
over there
visit?
eventually. I was just cruising kind of. I mean, I wasn't like making a beeline there. I was just kind of.
So what if there was a camera that saw you getting on 77 South? Around that time.
Well, I might have went south, yeah.
Okay. You might have went south?
I mean, I don't know. When I left, I was just cruising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But in reality, Ian followed Jacqueline and David Perez as they pulled out of his parents' driveway and began shadowing them in his car, as seen on multiple security cameras that recorded his every move.
Yeah.
In an interview filmed 3 days after the shooting, Jacqueline, along with David's parents Sally and Ted, shed light on the incident. They explained they were celebrating Ted's birthday just before David and Jacqueline left at 9:21 p.m. And it wasn't long before David realized Ian Rich was behind them.
I said, well, I'm going to call your dad, which I have the time. I called him at 9:26. And I called him and I said, your crazy neighbor's following us again. And that's when the bullets hit us. I didn't know, I thought he threw a rock at us because I just seen it looked like pebbles in that, but I guess it was glass. And that's when I looked, I don't even know where he went after that. I looked at my husband and he was slumped over. And I'm thinking, okay, how do I stop the truck? Because I was all over, it was all over the road and I couldn't get him out of the truck. And so, because it's a push button, no thingy, so I don't even know how it stopped. I have no idea. But
did your husband?
I think he died instantly because he was already, when I looked over, he was slumped over already.
Do you know who your neighbor is?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ted. Ted Perez.
Okay. Have you ever had any issues with him or?
No. I don't really know why he beat him.
Did you follow that vehicle today?
No.
What if we had video of your car behind him?
I might have been behind somebody. I didn't follow Ted.
Okay.
Ian's confident assertion that he didn't follow Ted is the truth, given it wasn't Ted that he followed, but Ted's son, David. Detective Lucas needs to slow down, both mentally and physically. He should take time to refocus and allow Ian to speak freely without interruption, which could lead to gathering critical information.
Yeah.
Instead, the miscommunication continues as Detective
so
Lucas questions ongoing problems with Ted, and not the true victim, David.
It's crazy. I've never seen Iwu critique and kind of chastise a detective before,
Yeah, because it sounds like they hired a professional to help them with that analysis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who
They said it.
They hired a professional to talk about
Yeah, that's
his
when they were talking
interrogation.
about the credentials of a retired detective.
Oh, they had that guy. That's right. They said that at the beginning. I didn't know that was related to them producing this case.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's very obvious. We recently watched a case where the detective was very good at his job, and you could tell.
God.
And it was the one with that narcissistic dude who killed his girlfriend in the woods, and he just gave that guy all the time in the world to kind of paint, just to roast himself, basically.
Say less, listen more situation.
Say less, listen more, leading questions. And this guy, every time the guy's about to talk, he's like, what if there was a camera of you following Ted? And he's saying the wrong names. Whatever. Not everyone's going to be great at it. I'm curious to see.
I mean, at least use the right name
That occurred
of the victim.
And Ted prior to what happened?
Not that I know. I mean, I had a time where it was from the drugs. I thought that maybe they were trying to mess with me or something.
Okay.
And this is years ago.
Gotcha.
But other than that little episode that I had, it was I don't know, it was delusional or something. It was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that episode, I've never had any thoughts like that.
But what Ian describes as a little episode is far from the truth. According to Newburgh Heights police records, Ian's delusional thoughts about his neighbors have been occurring repeatedly for years. Incident reports detail Ian's concerns that his neighbors were spying on him using advanced high-tech equipment, including a laptop with an overhead view of his house. In June of 2022, he was committed to a psychiatric hospital after insisting his elderly neighbors were trying to murder him, and stating he will take matters into his own hands.
Now, we've never met him.
Okay.
We've never talked to him. We've never seen him. He just knew his car.
Okay. So you don't really even know what he looks like?
No, I never
Only
looked
from our
until I
ring
seen that
cameras.
picture.
And those ring cameras don't give you a real clear picture of his face. And that was another thing too. He always walked with his head down.
Yeah.
He never walked with his head straight ahead.
Okay.
According to court documents, Ian exhibited extreme erratic behavior. He had become convinced that his neighbors were working with the FBI, conspiring to kill him through radio waves or poison in the ground.
He thought her name was...
Okay.
Okay, and that she worked for
The FBI. And that I had all kinds of lasers and stuff going into his house where I could hear every conversation and I could see everything that he was doing.
The reason I'm saying that is because it was my sister.
Okay.
So that's why he had to Google that. But we never had no kind of confrontation with her at all. There wasn't he cut on the side of his house, which was his property. She always had flowers there for years. Well, he didn't want them there. He cut them down.
After this incident, which was reported in July of 2022, the Perez family told police they were, quote, concerned that his erratic behavior would progress into something dangerous to them.
At that time, there was nothing. You know, there was no FUs, no throwing nothing over. Nothing.
There was never like a fear of him or anything?
Well, yeah, there was a fear of him.
There was a fear.
Because of the stuff that he was did, doing. You know, and this is something I want to emphasize, and this is causing us a problem. I seen his dad one day. This is a couple years ago. And I said to his dad, I says, can I have your phone number just in case, I call you if something happens over here? He says, yeah. He gives me his phone number. And I asked him, I said, does he have any weapons in there? And his father's reply to me was, you don't have to have that weapon to hurt somebody.
Yeah, I'm Lieutenant Kowalski. All those firearms are registered to you, purchased legally?
Right. They should have all been in the car except for my rifle. Is that all?
But you use that.
Like, doesn't he have a history of psychiatric, what do you call it? Like, he's been committed before years prior? I don't and you're still allowed to legally purchase firearms with that? Or maybe he purchased them previous? I don't know. I mean, the reality is, whatever. There's obviously rules and laws. I don't know what the rules are. Specifically around people with mental health issues and psychiatric problems. Obviously, it's a state-to-state thing, too. So who knows? But
did you have to go through a psych evaluation before you bought a gun, sir?
I mean, yeah, but I'm also...
No, you didn't. You didn't have to.
I had to go through a background check.
A background check, sure.
And an interview with a sergeant, basically.
But that's going to tell what? Criminal activity.
They would know if I was committed to a psychiatric hospital. That's part of your background check. I mean, I would think so.
I think it's part of your medical record.
If it's related to... I don't know the specifics to that.
So.
All that's to say, even with laws in place, loose or not, like if typically people want to get a gun, they can find a way to get a gun. Just interesting that he has...
His are legally
obtained, right?
Are you looking for hunting or anything, or
just targets?
Targets.
I haven't shot in a while.
Okay.
Detective Lucas should have paused here to ask more questions, such as, when was the last time you fired a firearm? And what type of firearm did you shoot?
So all those guns, are they loaded? Should all...
One that I had with me was not loaded.
Once again, he misses the opportunity to press Ian further by asking a simple question. If all of his guns are typically loaded, why was the one he had with him empty?
If I were to ask you, did you fire a gun tonight? You did?
No.
Okay.
Note the way Ian first nods yes, then answers no to the question. This contradiction between verbal and nonverbal communication is significant.
If I were to ask you, did you fire a gun tonight? You did?
No.
That was weird.
Okay.
But also the wording is freaking weird. If I were to ask you, just ask it or don't.
I am asking you. Yes.
A lot of ifs. That's a confusing...
Really annoying way to press the question.
So the guy's acknowledging by nodding.
Repeatedly uses the phrase, if I were to ask you, instead of just asking directly.
Yeah.
Overall, his questioning is scattered and lacks structure.
He's too nervous.
The lieutenant interjects, asking a question of his own.
You have no idea why you're up in this jail right now?
That's a very serious reason why you're in this jail today. Okay?
Right.
We're not here because of the drugs. Something bad happened today. Very bad.
Okay.
And we're trying to figure out exactly what happened.
After being told that something bad happened, Ian nodded his head in agreement. But what's more important is that he showed no obvious surprise, concern, or curiosity in the form of follow-up questions.
Is there any reason why you're not asking us what happened?
Well, yeah, no. What happened? I didn't follow him. I know. Like they knew that I had that episode, and I thought that they were trying to.
Let me ask you a question here, real quick. What put you over in Euclid and East Cleveland and all those other areas? Why were you over there?
I was just moseying my way over towards my friend's house.
Again, Detective Lucas interrupted Ian during a critical moment. Ian finally asked what happened, but the detective never answered him. Soon after, the detective shifts the topic back to firearms, reminding Ian that they can test for gunshot residue on his hands. This seems to encourage him to change his earlier answer about not firing a gun today.
I might have accidentally fired it in my garage.
If I was to tell you that there was bullet casings that were picked up
this guy.
Are any of those casings going to come back to any of the guns that you own?
I don't think so.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
None of my stuff should be on the road there.
Okay.
This response is noteworthy and should have been addressed further. An appropriate response from an uninvolved individual would typically be a clear no. The detective missed the opportunity to follow up on this statement.
If somebody was shot or something.
Somebody's dead.
Okay.
Okay. Ted died.
No, he didn't. Oh, God, wrong
Ian
person.
shows no visible
Jesus.
reaction to this news. And
Wait,
the
is that
detective
the right guy?
still
No.
naming the
David.
wrong
Oh, God.
victim.
You gotta realize.
Oh, that's bad. He's over there telling him that his neighbor Ted's dead.
That's like egregious. That's bad.
Ian's probably relieved.
It's like bad enough
he knows
that you
what really
kind of just
happened.
suck at questioning and not giving him room to talk and implicate himself, but you're using the wrong name of the victim.
It's really bad.
About as bad as it gets in the line of
Like, how bad
questioning.
does Ian want to correct him and be like, you know what? He's not dead. David is.
I know, he'd be like, Ted? He's sitting there like,
I tried to shoot David, so can you let me know what really happened?
I feel like I'm curious to see how the follow-up goes. I feel like he's going to get bad because it's going to be pretty obvious. So there's going to be a lot of overwhelming evidence.
There's going to be physical evidence.
I would imagine the defense attorney had a field day with this in court, the actual interrogation, as far as trying to use this as for the conviction.
Yep.
Hopefully there's other physical evidence that was...
Life. 29. You can still get out. From today. Okay?
Right.
If something happens and I put in here that you sat here callous, I'm gonna tell them. If you explain to me why this happened today, you have a chance.
Right. Like I said, I'm not going to say that this I didn't do. I'm not going to,
All the evidence.
Right.
All of it.
And someone even saying they saw me, I didn't do that.
You're in the area when it happened.
I was, but I wasn't. I didn't do that.
You shot the...
Ian just admitted that he was in the area when the shooting took place, then quickly self-corrected. His statement should be explored further as it suggests possible involvement, or at least uncertainty. This was a significant moment, and the detective misses the opportunity to follow up.
I think you're just living in this crazy world where you think that you're going to be fine. It's not going to be fine. Is he life in prison or parole?
If Ian were to confess now, he would have a good argument to say the only reason he confessed is due to the threat of life in prison versus the chance for parole. The use of threats and comments related to legal counsel could potentially affect whether this interview is admissible in court. The detective also doesn't have the authority to make those kinds of promises or guarantees about sentencing outcomes. The interrogation is soon headed for a more heated confrontation. But for now, investigators with the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation interrupt the interview to take swabs of Ian's hands.
Did you wash your hands at all? No?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
Were you handcuffed?
Well, yeah, I did. I washed them. I was handcuffed and I washed them before I ate McDonald's with some Fast Orange.
So why would you buy that?
Oh.
Because look at my hands, man.
My
grinds dirty.
Have you been fingerprinted since you were here? No.
Whether or not the cleaning solution successfully removed any gunshot residue remains to be seen. Before the interview continues, a conversation begins regarding evidence from the crime scene.
Do we have any idea the number of shots fired?
Looks to be 8.
Has a weapon and ammunition been recovered?
Not yet. There was a casing or a bullet that was recovered on the scene.
That fat Kodiak in.
But no weapon yet.
The detective should not be answering these questions in front of Ian, who can clearly hear what is being discussed, and he now knows what the detective has for evidence. Disclosing this information could undermine their ability to employ strategic interviewing techniques, such as controlled disclosure or bluffing, and could allow Ian to challenge or manipulate the situation. As the interview continues, the detective offers Ian a way to save face.
Maybe you had some type of psychotic episode. Maybe you had some type of out-of-body experience. But what happened today, you were identified.
Ian nods his head in agreement, but Detective Lucas doesn't seem to pick up on the gesture.
And I'm just trying to figure out why you do such a thing. And to help you, when this goes to court, why it happened.
Establishing motive is not a necessary element for the interview at this stage. While understanding the reasoning behind an incident is helpful, it's not essential to prove the case. The detective's approach would have been more effective if he'd framed it in a neutral information-gathering way, such as, help me understand how this incident occurred.
I didn't shoot at another car today. If that happened near here, like you said, and it was my neighbor, and they identified me for some reason, that's something else happened. Someone else did that or something, and they're trying to frame me, or I have no idea.
A good question for the detective to ask would be, who set you up and why? Instead, Detective Lucas takes a more direct approach.
There's a dead guy.
Right.
There's a guy that is dead.
Right.
Dead. I was there. I saw him. He's like 2 gunshot wounds to the side of the head. Like, instantly dead.
Yeah, there's a life ended and countless lives that are now affected by this.
Like, he's like, I'm not lying to you. I would not lie about somebody being dead. And this
guy's so hard to watch.
It kind of is hard to watch. Yeah.
Like a guy is dead. I'm not lying to you. Like they're trying to elicit some sort of like emotional tactic to get him to get him feeling bad enough to divulge information. Like clearly he's not the type of guy you're gonna be able to pull the emotional strings on. I don't know if you've picked up on that yet.
Know your audience.
And the fact that they're still talking about Ted when it's David, the son. I'm curious why. It sounds like they didn't even know this guy. Like the issue this guy had was with his neighbors, which were the parents, that had happened for years. I'm very curious why it was his son he chose to follow and kill, who didn't even live near him. Could have just been the voice in his head, I guess.
Is sure dead. Like, not even close to being alive.
Using the victim's name throughout this interview could have made the situation more personal and real for Ian, potentially breaking down some of his emotional distance. Consistently referring to the victim by name is a simple but important technique that isn't being used.
But I'm telling you,
because he's not using the right name anyways.
When we're done here, I'm going to find some more evidence that puts you there. And if you don't tell us why it happened, and when we go to court on this, I'm going to stand up there in that box, and I'm going to make sure you go to jail.
Detective Lucas repeats the same statements without moving the conversation forward. As it stands, he's not maintaining control of the interview, and he himself is being manipulated by the suspect. As the interview goes on, the lieutenant interrupts to question Ian about his earlier claim that he's being framed.
Who do you think's setting you up? You think that the wife just set you up, set someone up to kill her husband and to frame you? That makes zero sense.
Right. But
so there's no setup here.
Well, I mean, they don't.
Just let them answer.
They're just accusing me, and they have like some fake evidence.
But they really don't even know you.
There is no fake evidence. There's a ton of real evidence. There's an eyewitness. There's cameras.
But
there's
I don't have any beef with them. They don't.
It doesn't matter if you have beef or anything. Right. I'm just trying to say, did you have something in your mind today that maybe thought that they did something to you, or
no? Definitely not. In the past, I thought that they were like getting me while I was speaking, and the FBI or something. It was an episode I had. It was like when I was doing too much stuff, and then it was like I realized that none of that was real.
Ian has just implied the behavior that occurred in the past was when he was, quote, doing too much stuff, likely referring to drugs,
which he's now doing
again. The detective
again.
should follow up on this statement and reminded him that he used methamphetamine the day before. Then develop a line of questioning around how that may have affected his actions or judgment.
It's like the first time they let him
Building
talk.
on this point could help create a theme that Ian was impaired, which might encourage him to open up further about what happened.
There's a victim that could have been killed. It could have been a double homicide. Identified you as the freaking shooter.
Right. I did not.
Plus your car, an Audi TT, black in color with a convertible freaking top. Plus you got 1,000 guns in your back seat, and now I'm going to go find one when we're done here with 8 bullets missing, and then I'm going to find gunshot residue on your freaking hand.
But
yeah, you did it.
I didn't shoot the guy. I didn't shoot a car. They're false accusing.
Nobody's false accusing you. There's an eyewitness.
I didn't shoot.
You shot a gun. The evidence is going to be there, and I'm going to be there when you go on trial, and I'm going to say I sat in front of this and basically listen to him lie to my face, knowing that he shot a guy and killed him. You understand that? Me. I'm your lifeline, he's your lifeline. And that's it. If you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Do you want to go to jail and sit with a bunch of murderers and
this guy can't stop talking.
Well, guess what? If you don't tell us what the hell happened.
Be like if you were an interviewer.
Honestly, yeah. This is why I don't do that job.
Yeah, you would just be like, let me talk for you, actually, and tell you what you might be thinking.
Relax, all right? I've gotten a little better.
Yes.
There's 1,000 pieces of evidence against you. 1,000.
But why would I do that?
Ian's question, why would I do that, suggests he's looking for a reason he can use to save face, where an innocent person would simply say, I did not do it. His question presents an opportunity for the detective to introduce alternative explanations or themes.
Continue screaming.
For example, he could suggest the possibility that the firearm discharged accidentally, or that Ian intended only to scare the victim rather than shoot him. Instead, Detective Lucas continues pressing for Ian to share his own motive.
There's 1,000 pieces of evidence against you. 1,000.
But why would I do that?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm trying to tell you. If you would explain to me why you did this, I could portray you as a normal human being.
I am a normal human being.
I know you are. So tell me why you did it.
I didn't do it. There's no reason to.
He's like trying to intimidate him.
I'm sorry.
It's just not going to work.
I know you did it. I'm just trying to figure out why it happened and make you seem human. And I know you're going to keep shaking your head, I didn't do it. But one day, you're going to come back and you're like, man, I wish I would have told that stupid detective what happened.
Detective Lucas again resorts to making threats and is noticeably becoming frustrated and angry. At this point, it would have been more appropriate for the detective to take a step back or even pause the interview.
When he escalates.
Like I said, I did shoot a gun recently, and I honestly stand right next to the car, but shooting the other day.
That's a big, dude. You think that you were standing next to your car and firing a gun. You're full of.
Yeah, I shouldn't be doing that in the garage. Shouldn't be shooting a gun in the garage. But
You are full of absolute.
If you saw the garage,
you're full of.
You would know.
You're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You are cooked.
Ian reiterates that he was just out for a cruise tonight, but when he shares new information, the confusion over the victim's identity gets in the way.
When I was texting that Ron, I did receive a call from Teddy Perez.
Okay.
After the time. The thing, I didn't see that.
That's impossible. He was dead.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Well, he was dead.
You guys are looking at
So it just appeared on a phone call appeared on Facebook.
Yes.
So did you in heaven and call you?
Oh my god.
So embarrassing.
You got my phone.
Maybe he was because he was trying to get after you.
Does he realize in the interview he'll
killed him?
Once again, Ted Perez is still alive, as the murder victim was his son David. If Ted did contact Ian after learning he was following his son, the opportunity to question him about that call is lost.
And I'm trying to help you not spend the rest of your days at 29 years old sitting and rotting in a prison cell because I don't think you're a bad person. I think you made a bad mistake tonight and that was it. That's it. I just don't want to see you rot in a cell. I don't think that's your type of person at all.
I'm not being hyperbolic. Like, I think you could maybe do a better job interviewing this guy.
No, I honestly do too.
It's like no experience, zero experience.
No, but
never
like the
done
little
any
nurse
training.
triage in me could like find a way there.
Like he's just screaming at him, calling him bull. Like it's just he's completely spiraling out of control. Like clearly realizes he lost the plot. The misnaming of the victim is just a whole nother element that's.
Right, like is Ian sitting there like dying over that?
Probably thinks it's hilarious.
All right, go to court. I'm gonna bury you.
Threats, just nonstop
this
threats.
Type of statement is not only inappropriate, but also counterproductive.
That's what I mean.
As it increases resistance rather than encouraging cooperation.
Wicked.
A more flexible and controlled approach would likely have been far more effective at this stage of the interview.
All right, why don't we just take a break? You go in the cell, you can steal over this whole issue for a little bit.
Cigarette. There's cigarettes.
No, you can't have a cigarette.
Allowing something small, like a cigarette break, could help ease tension and create a calmer atmosphere, which may make Ian more willing to talk. In this situation, there's little to lose, and it could improve the overall tone of the interaction. However, he's denied. The BCI agents remove and collect all of Ian's clothing, and once they resume the interview, the lieutenant asks a simple question that sends the interrogation on another downward spiral.
Is there anything else that you want to say to us?
They said someone called about the dog.
We're not worried about that dog.
Why?
Well, I'm worried about a dead guy.
I would rather her go to my mom than
I don't
someone
care
call.
about that dog. There's a guy that's dead.
She's just, you're right.
There's somebody that's dead.
Right.
And you're worried about your dog.
Well, I don't want
Listen,
having my dog.
there's a dead guy. And you're worried about a dog? Somebody's dead. And you're worried about a goddamn dog.
Unfortunately, police records make no mention of where Ian's dog, Sienna, was taken following his arrest. There's little effort to build rapport or show compassion towards Ian, and the detective's approach appears to rely heavily on confrontation.
Yeah.
With a suspect like Ian, raising one's voice or making threats is not effective and works against the goal of getting useful information.
Do you know how they brought that guy back? They actually loaded the truck that he's dead in, hunched over the steering wheel, on a flatbed truck down in the coroner's office. To process the vehicle. Okay? Would you want any of your family members being processed like that? No.
Meanwhile, David's family struggles with the tragic aftermath of a situation that has been escalating for some time.
It's like they kept almost pacifying us, where there's really not much we can do unless he actually hurts you or harasses you, and that wasn't happening. But we would hear him with beating on the walls of his house. Sometimes it would even shake our house because he was beating on the inside walls with sledgehammer and stuff, and he would take that sledgehammer back into his garage and then beat it.
I was just going to say that.
People all over the lady across the street, my neighbors would hear all this. And that's why we were scared of him, because we kept saying, and then the police were there so many times too on a welfare check. His mother would send them over there to check on him and stuff. And we were thinking, when is this guy going to really go off the deep end? And that's what we kept saying to each other, you know, and then look what happens.
According to an autopsy report, 57-year-old David Perez ultimately died from 2 gunshot wounds to the left side of his head, as well as 2 to the left arm. Still, Ian refuses to confess that he was the one who pulled the trigger.
I hope it burdens you, because if you're not willing to explain what happened or shed light, it makes you seem like you are a cold-blooded killer. If you want to see your parents again, bang a chick again, anything, you better come clean about it. Because if not, I will see to it.
Wow.
Oh, God.
If the evidence and all that does me in, it does. If not, it doesn't. I'm go with that. I can't. I didn't do that. You know, they got me saying I'm behind him. So like that. There's no reason to. There's no motive. I don't know those people. I don't care about them. You know, I'm a single 28.
So why is he messaging you on Facebook?
Exactly. I don't know. And why did someone call and want to take my dog? That's not someone that I want.
Nobody gives a flying about your dog.
Right, but I'm just saying, what if it's, I don't know what's going on, you know? I'm the guy who's just cruising around. I was going to hang
No, you. Okay. That's what you want to go with. You want to go with the guy cruising around. No, you want to go with the guy cruising around. Huh? You're a guy that was just cruising around. There's bullet flash, gun flashes coming from a goddamn Audi TT, triple black.
Well, yeah, but so like they were still at speed. They were driving.
With an eyewitness. Sit here and lie to me. You're gonna sit here and lie to me all day while I'm sitting here at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're just gonna be with me. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's the dumbest thing ever. Man the up and say what you did it. Be a man and say you killed the guy.
Be a man.
I don't know why you did it, but just say you did it.
This guy is
you
not
did it.
cut out for this job.
Did it. And I don't understand it.
I didn't know.
You've gone away for a long time.
After nearly 3 hours of questioning, 29-year-old Ian Rich left the interrogation without giving a confession. Even without an admission of guilt, the evidence against Ian was damning.
Yeah.
BCI investigation reports reveal that Ian tested positive for gunshot residue on his hands, and that the 9mm handgun found in the center console of Ian's car was a match to multiple fired casings recovered from the crime scene. According to court documents, Ian Rich was indicted in May of 2024 on 1 count of aggravated murder, 3 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, 2 counts of discharging a firearm on or near prohibited premises, and 4 counts of felonious assault, all carrying firearm specifications. On May 5, 2025, Ian Rich accepted a plea deal to reduce charges of involuntary manslaughter with a 5-year firearm specification, attempted murder with a 3-year firearm specification, and discharge of a firearm on or near prohibited premises. The court imposed a minimum aggregate prison term of 40 to 45 and a half years in prison, with 402 days credited for time served, plus an additional 2 to 5 years of mandatory post-release control. Jacqueline Perez later filed a lawsuit against Ian Rich and 3 members of the Newburgh Heights Police Department for the, quote, foreseeable, preventable, and wrongful death of David Perez, as well as her own injury. The lawsuit states the defendants share culpability for the actions of Ian Rich because they, quote, knew about the danger he presented and recklessly failed to fulfill their duties to the public. The lawsuit is ongoing. Watch our full videos as they were originally made.
I want so much more out of that. It's not even funny. Like, I want more. I want to see his house.
Okay. Yeah.
And we need follow up on Detective Dingleberry over there.
Oh, man. It's so interesting because it's the type of thing that, you know, he just probably thought nothing of it. And then you come out on a channel like Iwu or one of these well-produced, you know, one of these well-produced crime channels. And all of a sudden, this thing that you'd forgotten about, it's a couple years ago, you've dealt with a billion cases since then, you are now painted as the worst at your job ever. Like, he's just not. Maybe he's a good detective and he's good at that line of it, but like, please keep him out of the interrogation.
You don't think that he's had any follow on his job from that? Obviously, it was reviewed between.
No, 100% he could. I mean, but there was probably a period of time, obviously, before the body cam footage came out and all this stuff. And even when the body cam footage came out, like who, I don't know if they probably just were like, hey, let's maybe not use this in court or something like. Obviously,
I don't think they have that choice because the defense can say, let's use this.
I would, I guess so, yeah. Now with some, I imagine there's a little bit of public outcry, so people familiar with this town or the state are like, hey, can we get this guy out of the interrogation chair, please? I don't know, I don't know that he's not going to lose his job over it. It's not like, he could very possibly lose his ability to interrogate, but I don't think I'd be surprised if he got fired outright, they just move to another position, keep him on patrols.
I don't know.
That was nuts, dude. The comments are all just people absolutely floored with how bad he sucked. His job, man, the detective needs to go back to traffic duty. This detective is so worked up about the dead guy, yet he couldn't even get his name right.
I know, there wasn't even a moment when he got corrected.
I was hoping that they would figure that out.
The other dude.
Even the other guy.
Yeah, like someone would be like, hey, you got the wrong victim.
Just to see him on camera and be like, oh, whoops. I would imagine he felt like an idiot afterwards. You have to. Tough to watch that performance back and not feel like an idiot. Just zero intuition on how to try and treat, you know what I mean? Like there's training and then there's just intuition and personality and he obviously had to have had some training, but zero of anything else that it takes to be a good interviewer. Brutal.
I'm concerned with the fact that a documented schizophrenic has so many firearms. Yes.
That was one of my questions too. Why he legally owned 15 firearms when he's with a medical history that is apparently was well documented with a previous incident. That's what he's talking about, the previous incident. Clearly there was police involvement, so there had to have been a record in some level. Obviously it wasn't a felony charge. I think that's the rule, at least in Mass. You can't be a felon. You can't have a felony record and own a firearm, but
legally.
Yeah, right, correct. Anyways, that was a little bit of a change where like that was sad. Like the focus, it sucks because the focus, I feel bad for the family because you want there to be empathy. We didn't know anything about David. We got to see the family family talked to the detectives a little bit, but really it was just a 45, 50 minutes of being like, man, this guy really sucks at his job. Kind of glazing over the fact that this was a horrible tragedy with just some schizophrenic randomly shooting some guy.
It was hard to watch, no doubt.
So rest in peace to dude. I mean,
David.
Yeah, big
Rest in
Dave.
peace, David, not Ted.
We'll never.
Ted's doing okay.
Never have any answers of why. Like zero answers of why or motive. We have no idea. Like it just happened that he was neighbors with the guy's parents, but there was no indication that he even knew this guy at all, which is tough to wrestle with.
Yep.
Tough to even come up with a reason why other than he's schizophrenic and some voice told him to do something. Anyways, sorry to put you guys through that. Now we at least have a baseline for what bad interrogations look like.
Yes, that's good. We've hit the bottom.
Because we've had some good ones. So like now we can have a better kind of scale of how to grade them. But man, boy. Until next time, we appreciate your time with us here and hope you enjoyed watching along. We'll see you soon on the next Crime Time. Peace.